And we are back.
Hello.
It has been a little while since the last time that we talked to you guys.
We are back.
We are back.
Getting the show back.
And if you are watching on our Patreon,
Hello.
you are seeing our brand new studio setup.
Yeah, we got a brand new desk, and we're still getting used to the spacing. You know, you're so far away now. We used to be like shoulder to shoulder.
I don't know if it looks like it on camera, but I feel like I'm at the little kids' table at Thanksgiving.
Well, you're a little kid.
No, I'm not.
You're a little baby.
I'm really not, though. And I feel like I'm so far away from you.
I feel like I can turn and like talk to you now, though. It's nice.
I can't turn because my legs are caught in here.
Well,
They're in jail.
You could move back a little bit.
They're in leg jail. They're in leg jail, and I'm waiting for my my plate to be brought to me with my little kid like utensils.
Yeah.
I want a big bird fork.
Oh, your turkey cut up real small.
So I don't choke. And some vegetables that I refuse to eat.
Yeah, right. Exactly. Well, speaking of a magical holiday season,
yes,
we have a lot to catch up on.
Yes.
Our last episode was November 15th, so it's been a little while since we were able to talk to you, almost a month exactly. But we had so much stuff going on between visitors and, a whole lot of other things. But one very special thing that did happen on December 1st, our 6-year anniversary.
Our 6-year anniversary.
Yeah. I'm sure you've probably seen by now from our social media posts and our video that's up on YouTube, youtube.com/a couple of park hoppers, which, by the way, we reached that 1,000 subscriber goal that we've been trying to reach before the end of the year, and we did it 3 weeks early.
3 weeks early.
But yes, youtube.com/a couple of park hoppers. If you don't subscribe already, please go do so. But I was referencing a certain video that was posted on December 2nd, the day after said event happens.
Yes.
And what event was that, Danny?
I don't know. What are you talking about?
I put a ring on it.
He liked it, so he put a ring on it.
I did it. I mean, you weren't a single lady before, but
no.
I put a ring on it.
You did.
I did. So we're engaged.
We're engaged.
Yeah.
We're a couple of engaged park hoppers.
And before you ask, there's no date yet.
My goodness. It's funny, like...
I've been asked by a lot of people, did you set a date? And like, this happened like a week or two ago. Like, relax.
I mean...
I love the girl to death, but holy crap, we're not getting married tomorrow.
I mean, it's not even about that. It's just like we haven't even had time to think about it. Like,
right.
I mean, we've thought about, what a future wedding would and could look like, but like the reality of it is, very different and costs real money, not imaginary money.
Right, exactly. So we're engaged. We're very, very excited,
We're very happy.
It's not the highest quality video that we're recording on right now. So if she shows her left hand with her finger, if you want to raise that up real quick, you prove it. There's a ring right there. You can't really see it from here, but you can see it on all of our social pages. We posted some photos.
Now, one thing I do want to say is I didn't realize that this was something that that you were going to get. Bill got a Disney fine jewelry ring.
Yeah.
So can you kind of like touch on what that is? Because I didn't even realize it was like a thing.
Yeah, so Disney has their own fine jewelry company with engagement rings, wedding rings, all different kinds of rings, promise rings, whatever. And they're all beautiful, and they're really, really well themed to certain IPs, I guess. There's everything from all the princesses to villains, which I feel like if you gave a villain's ring to your fiance, you'd be like, what are you trying to say? But so I ended up choosing the ring because it was, Danny and I are very big Disney people. Duh.
Yeah.
I mean, look what we're doing right now. But I wanted to pick a ring because she doesn't really, I don't know if the right word is identify, but you don't really identify with a certain princess per se.
No, I'm not a princess girl per se.
But like classic Disney felt to me like Cinderella because we're at Walt Disney World, we're in Orlando, Cinderella Castle, and that's just like our happy place, our magic place. So I figured Cinderella would probably be the best bet. So you can actually look at the side of the ring when it's on, and underneath the diamond is it looks like Cinderella's carriage
Yeah.
from the side. So it looks really cool.
So it was funny because like after it happened and I was like, oh my gosh. And my mom and sister ran up because they were hiding the best they could from us. And we went down to the very front of they brought us down to the very front of Fantasmic to take a couple pictures, which you guys have probably seen.
Right.
And I think it was down there that I turned to you and I said, I held up my hand. I was like, what did you give me? And I didn't, and I was like, I'm like, what did you put on my hand? And, cause in the past I talked to you about like kind of a more, I don't really know a lot about rings. And I was like, oh, this is one. And it was kind of like plain. I'm really glad that you went with this because I love it. And when you told me what it was, I was like, what? Oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah. So, I mean, it's so us, you know, your typical ring wasn't really like, I couldn't find something that I really, really liked. And then I heard about the company and I was like, oh, that's a great place to look for us. And I found that and I thought it was, you know, really cool, classic Disney, Cinderella, castle, all that. So very, very excited that I was able to find that particular one to suit our engagement.
Yes.
And where we got engaged suited us even more because our favorite show is Fantasmic.
Yes.
Her favorite character, as you can tell by her T-shirt and my T-shirt, is Steamboat Willie. And my favorite character is Sorcerer Mickey. And where can you see both of them on site at Walt Disney World? Fantasmic.
Yeah.
And I had the timing, and thank you so much, first of all, to our friends Rob and Rachel.
Yes.
Who secured an amazing spot at the top of the Fantasmic Amphitheater for us.
Yes.
For me to do this without having to distract anyone else or stand up in front of anyone else besides Rob and Rachel, who were actually filming it for us,
right.
who shot the video. For the perfect moment that I've been dreaming about for so long, while this godforsaken show was gone for like 2.5 years. I couldn't think of a better way to do what I wanted to do than this particular moment. And after we went to the opening night show when Fantasmic came back,
finally,
I knew exactly when and where I wanted to do it because I could physically see it now.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh yeah, it's happening. And then about a month later on December 1st, my plan went according to plan, I guess. And it was a beautiful night. The show was perfect. The weather was perfect. Rob and Rachel were amazing. Shout out to all of our friends and family that came out afterwards to have a drink with us at the bar next to 50s Primetime. I can't remember, Tune In Lounge over at Hollywood Studios, which is the only bar that's open till 9:00, by the way, which is crazy.
Right.
But yes, shout out to everybody that came out to congratulate us and hang out with us. And couldn't be more grateful for all of you folks. Thank you so much.
And yeah, thank you guys so much for coming out. Nobody spoiled the surprise, which was amazing. I think you were worried that there were a couple things that could have leaked the secret.
Yeah.
I will say that like, I feel like we haven't gotten a chance to even like let it sink in that we're engaged because we've been so busy.
Yeah, the last 3 weeks have been pretty crazy.
So my family flew in on December 1st and we went nonstop until December the 8th.
Yep.
And then we've just been working and like doing things, catching up on life things since then. And when my family was here, we were doing like 30,000 step days. So by the time they left, I was like, I'm so sad to see you go. Bye. And then I was like, I need to sleep. So there's just been, it's just been such a wild ride. And on top of that, we've been going nonstop since the beginning of this Christmas season.
Yeah.
One of the reasons we haven't recorded an episode since November 15th is because we have literally been covering everything local for Christmas here in Orlando.
And again, youtube.com/a-couple-of-park-hoppers. We have several videos up there of everything that's happening around Christmas season here in Orlando. And TikTok and Instagram at Park Hopper Show.
Yes.
All that stuff is covered on every other platform we have. We just haven't had a podcast since November 15th, but we've had this whole Christmas season covered for you on our other platforms.
Yes. So as the new year comes in, we do plan on getting into like more of our regularly scheduled program, so to
Yeah.
say. But I'm excited to just let it sink in that we're engaged.
I know.
Maybe Twitter will sponsor our wedding since we met there.
We'll see. Yeah, I don't know if I want to be sponsored by Twitter right now.
Oh, that's probably true. I take that back.
Unless we're going to do it in space.
No.
or in a Tesla.
I mean, we'll workshop.
I'll take a Tesla.
We'll workshop everything.
Yeah,
so
for sure.
But that's been our biggest news. And I mean, we're just thrilled and excited for this next chapter together, and we're excited to share it with you guys too, because this is something that we've never done before. Neither of us have ever been engaged.
Duh.
And hey, that's not true for everybody.
Yeah, that's true. I mean, but us though. Everybody knows that.
Yes, neither of us have ever been engaged. This is we've been dating for a long time, and our story is had so many, it's just had the most interesting storyline.
Yeah, for sure. So without further ado, let's get into what we're going to talk about. This is more of an in case you missed it, hopping around the parks news episode.
Yes.
And so if we didn't get engaged, this probably would have been the top story on tonight's show. And that was, speaking of new beginnings and new chapters, Mr. Bob Iger is back as the CEO of the Walt Disney Company. Very, very exciting time. So long, Bob Chapek. So long, my friend. But not really my friend. Just so long, sir. Welcome back, Bob Iger. The what's the word I'm thinking of? Like the feeling and the mood around Walt Disney World has seemingly changed.
Feels like the dad of Disney came back
For real though.
When Uncle
Scrooge.
Uncle Scrooge has been watching us. Dad's back.
Counting all his gold coins.
It really kind of feels like that though.
It does.
Like it feels like we got left with like the mean babysitter
for 2 years.
Yeah. And I mean, and then Bob Iger comes back and everyone was like, celebrate.
Yeah. So Bob Iger has signed a 2-year deal to stay with the Walt Disney Company as the CEO. The mission right now, I guess, is for him to groom the next CEO of whoever that may be. We don't know. We don't want to speculate anything like that. But we're very, very excited that Bob Iger, who was the CEO of Disney for over 15 years prior to Bob Chapek taking over just before COVID, is back, and he's just much more of a personable boss, I guess.
Yes.
He seems to gravitate better to the cast and to guests and Disney fans alike. He has that presence.
He gets it.
He gets it. He has that presence that just makes you feel better.
Yeah. And a lot of times when he's using his words, that he gets the Disney difference.
Right.
Because a lot of people, when they come to Disney, they'll go vacation other places and they'll be like, it's just not the same. There's no magic. There's no nostalgia. And I really think that he focuses on that. And, the cast members who make the magic, the people who come here and what their experience is, and doesn't see them just as walking dollar signs.
Right, exactly.
And, I think that he really does care. And I mean, why would he come back?
Right.
I mean,
he cares.
Like, he's not getting for what is it? You said $1 million a year?
Yeah. So he signed.
Sounds like a lot.
I forget exactly what the terms were, but he's getting $1 million a year. But there's incentives that can raise his annual pay, because what Bob Chapek was making, is significantly more than what Iger's base pay is right now. But he can make significantly more.
But what I mean is, he's like almost. I don't want to say taking a pay cut, but like because he has all of these other things that he can earn from, but
yeah,
he cares, because $1 million for him is probably like,
yeah, that's low for the CEO of the Walt Disney Company,
right? And so I mean, but $1 million,
yeah,
I mean, if I got $1 million a year, like,
I'd
wow.
be thrilled. I don't want to dive too much into the financials of what he's making. I'm just really happy that he's back and all that kind of stuff.
I just think it's significant that
it is.
that it should be known that that's something that, you know, he cares.
Sure.
And that's very important. I also think that overall, because Disney fans were getting so frustrated and upset just with the way some things are, that overall, even like Disney fans feel much better.
Just a change in leadership feels better because of the way that things were trending.
I will say that the one thing that I hope that they do is that whoever his successor is somebody who is a I don't know the right way to say it, who cares too, and who's
a people person.
A people person. I know that there were two, Josh D'Amaro, and then the lady who talked smack about people's waistlines.
Yeah.
I can't remember her name, but
neither can I.
But that's one that I'm concerned about. Because I feel like we'd be getting
we'll see
the aunt to the uncle.
I'm sure we'll have a lot of very good candidates, very qualified candidates by the time Bob is going to be done for good the second time.
Right.
So we can only hope that whoever takes over for him will be just as magical.
Yes. I do hope that.
Yes. Speaking of magical, Guardians of the Galaxy over at Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind over at Epcot is getting a little bit of a holiday makeover. Not necessarily the ride, but the audio from the ride has gotten a makeover. And it is a Christmas remix, if you will, or holiday remix.
And I don't know if we actually mentioned this, by the way, but we're going to go over all of our Walt Disney World stuff first, and then we're going to pop around to other parks.
Yes.
So, since we're at Walt Disney World, one of the things we did get to do, and we've ridden this ride many a times, but that Guardians of the Galaxy Christmas overlay?
Overlay, not layover. That's what when you take two planes, that's the area in between.
We actually got to experience that the other day.
Yeah, we did.
And
twice.
I really have to say that Disney Internet, y'all are just ridiculous. Everybody was like, "Oh, I don't like the song; it doesn't fit." I really liked riding to the song.
I thought the song fit really well.
The song fit perfectly. Y'all are just haters.
I don't love the song, but with the way that Guardians was originally built, with the 6 songs that like everybody knows,
right?
I was expecting for a holiday remix them to go out and get like Wham! Last Christmas or like something like that, like a Christmas song that everyone knows.
Yeah.
But the custom song that they made, it was Run Run Rudolph, but they changed it to Run Run Rocket, and it was a custom recording. I thought it fit the ride really well. I don't love the song per se.
I think it was goofy like the Guardians are. Like
it was fine.
The thing is, it fit very well. I think people were, taking the fact that there were like, I guess, quote unquote, real artists, like, like real music that you would hear on the radio, and this was something that you would more hear on like a Guardians of the Galaxy like movie short or something like that.
Right. And just what people forget is that you can't just like put on Spotify and pick a song for the ride. Like they've got to pay for the rights to use said ride,
right?
Or said songs, and which they have for the other 6 that were previously on Cosmic Rewind.
And at the end of the day, would have it been worth it for them to like have a big payout for 6 songs, like 6 Christmas songs? Because I mean, the first song that comes to mind, as much as I know you don't like this song, is "All I Want for Christmas Is You" by Mariah Carey.
I bet you Mariah Carey's fee was so big.
I mean, there would have been no reason, and then it's only for 6 weeks.
Yeah,
like it just feels like it would have cost so much money to have a good playlist, and this just makes so much more sense because it's fun, it's holiday.
Yeah.
Hearing Groot sing on the ride is, just perfect. So I liked the song. I think it's definitely worth the ride. It's very fun, and it won't be here for long, so enjoy it while we have it.
Yeah, the only thing that it kind of eliminates, for lack of a better term, and I love the ride, but it makes it a little less re-rideable.
Sure.
Because you're taking away that surprise element of what song you're going to get. Like the other one,
right?
Prior to this, where you didn't know, like you saw our TikToks. I mean, we had a series where we were trying to get all 6 songs, and we couldn't get the godforsaken conga ever. We got all the other 5 pretty quickly, actually, but we still haven't gotten conga. We're hoping it comes back after the holiday remix, but it takes away the rewritability and the spontaneity of the different song potential when you ride.
I mean, the only thing based off of like what you're saying, I totally agree with that. Like I wrote it twice and I'm like, okay, if I don't get to it next time I'm at Epcot, I would still try to ride it, but like it's not as urgent. Now, if I am somebody making that decision and I can save a bunch of money by not having to pay out artists for using their songs just for those 6 weeks, on top of making potentially the ride a little bit more available, that a lot of times it can go so fast.
Yeah.
So I think it might take a little strain off of everybody trying to get on that ride if you've ridden it once or twice and heard the song already.
Right.
And allow people to go ride other things. It's just we know that everybody, their mom, grandpa, sister, and their cousin are here during the holidays. That's just it. If there's somebody who does like a one trip a year, a lot of times it's either the summer or it's Christmas.
Right.
And so I just wonder if that was like a calculated thing.
Probably.
Where
know how busy it's going to be.
We don't need y'all to ride it 18 times in 6 weeks.
Right.
There's already everybody trying to get in this line.
Exactly.
So I really liked it. I think it's worth the ride and it's fun.
For sure. Well, sticking at Epcot, moving away from Guardians, we're heading over to World Nature over by the Seas and the Land Pavilions. But this is still behind a construction wall. However, because you can ride the monorail from Magic Kingdom to Epcot, you can actually see what was installed at Epcot fairly recently, and that is a 16-foot Te Fiti.
That doesn't even look real.
It's so cool, and it looks just like the Te Fiti from Moana.
Right.
But in physical form, 16 feet high. It's going to be so cool, and it's going to be kind of the centerpiece of the Journey of Water inspired by Moana attraction that's coming to World Nature hopefully real soon.
I think this is really cool looking. I know some people were saying that like, they don't like the way it looks. It's not done.
What do you mean? It looks just like the movie. What would you want it to look like?
More so
the
like
evil volcano version?
Well, that'd be kind of cool. But I think it's going to look gorgeous.
Yeah.
I think that once it's done, it's going to add a lot to that area.
Well, anything is going to add a lot to that pile of mud that's Epcot right now.
Yeah, it's just, I just see it as like a bunch of walls.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't even know what it's going to feel like to not have walls.
To not have to go around and just be able to walk through the center again.
Do you even remember? I feel like I can barely remember when I didn't have to like go on a hike to get to the other side.
Yeah. How much of a pain is it right now to go from the front entrance to World Showcase?
Oh my goodness. Well, it's funny you say that because the day that we met my family at Epcot, we walked all the way to the back to meet them over in France,
International Gateway,
and then walked all the way back over to Guardians, and it was almost a 2-mile walk.
That's crazy.
Like we were already like, okay,
yeah,
that's enough steps for today.
And then we proceeded to spend like 7 more hours there. So,
oh my goodness, my poor feetsies.
My footsies was so tired that day.
Oh, we were like done by like 7 or 8 o'clock, but the thing is, these construction walls make your walks around the park much longer. So I really look forward to when you have a more direct like journey to where you're going and being able to enjoy the journey of water. I think that's going to be really gorgeous.
Right, exactly. And so for our Patreons, and you can subscribe for as little as $3 a month, patreon.com/a-couple-of-park-hoppers. Our Patreons are actually looking at the image of Te Fiti right now, soon to be our YouTube viewers as well. But Patreons get first access at said video.
I think she's in love with Spaceship Earth.
She is.
Look at the way she's looking at it.
She's offering Spaceship Earth up to us.
Oh, wow.
You see her hands? She's doing like the thing.
Here you go. This is my...
Yeah, here's my offering.
This is from me.
Yeah, a geodesic sphere. Love it.
Wow.
Yes. So patreon.com/a couple of park hoppers. You can help support us by subscribing monthly as little as $3 a month. That's less than a cup of coffee from Dunkin' Donuts, Starbucks, Wawa, just about anywhere else.
And you're going to be getting, different, you're going to be seeing this video much earlier. We're going to be doing more posts, more behind the scenes. We have our monthly giveaway. And all of those things are just to say thank you. Just remember, if you're considering it, that if you enjoy our content, we take our time and do all of this. And, being able to support us is huge. And a lot of places, like with their Patreon, they don't always have these things, but we want to say thank you because we appreciate you guys.
Yeah.
So if you've been considering it, please do it. Your support means more than you will ever realize in our growth.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of things that are changing.
Yeah, pretty sure. Yeah.
Just yeah.
I was gonna make a joke and then I fumbled it just horribly. So I'm gonna refrain from making said joke.
Okay.
But you go ahead and announce the next thing on our news list.
So everybody kind of grumbled and, I say grumbled because people want to get their last rides in on this ride. Splash Mountain's last day of operation will be January the 22nd. I think a lot of people didn't really know when the last how do you do would ring through the Magic Kingdom. But January 22nd is going to be it. So if you are looking to ride one last time, make your way down here before it closes. I know that we're going to get to ride a couple more times.
Yeah, we also made a park reservation for January 22nd for said reason. So
I don't know what's going to happen.
We're going to
that
try
day.
to ride that evening. We'll see how long the lines are.
I'm just curious what people are going to do. Like, are they going to be holding candles outside of Splash Mountain?
Yeah.
I'm just expecting people to see it get closed and hold hands and be be sad.
I don't know.
Because some people are really into that ride.
Yeah. I mean, I love it, but I'm not diehard about it.
I mean, I'm more excited for a new ride, honestly.
I'm very excited for Tiana's Bayou Adventure coming in 2024. We don't know when yet. My assumption would probably be around October 1st because that's when Disney likes to do things at the beginning of fiscal years.
Right.
Because the late 2024 was the only date that they've given, but that would be my best educated guess.
Yeah.
But Tiana's Bayou Adventure, very, very excited for that. Splash Mountain has been sort of deteriorating over the last couple of years especially as after the announcement was made that it was going away as is in 2020. So I'm going to be sad to see it go. I'm not going to be devastated, but I'm really looking forward to what's next. And I know the Imagineers are cooking up something really cool in that lab right now. And we'll all get to see it at late 2024 and marvel at the talents that comes from the Imagineering department.
I think it's something to really look forward to, and I'm ready for it.
Me too. Well, speaking of new rides at Magic Kingdom, desperately needing new rides, has not opened a new ride since 2014, Seven Dwarfs Mine Train, which is crazy.
Wow.
8 years ago was the last new ride at Magic Kingdom. But coming in spring 2023 is Tron Light Cycle Run, 5 years in the making. We're very, very excited that Tron doesn't have an official date yet, but has an official date range, I guess you could say. Spring 2023. We have heard some rumors on the street from other sources that it may be opening early April with some cast member and annual pass DVC Club 33 previews and such before that. But April 1st feels like a perfect opening day, A, because it is spring 2023, and B, it is the first day after the 50th celebration.
Oh, yes. Give me something new after the 50th celebration. Oh, you know what else will be gone?
100 years of wonder.
And what else will be gone?
What?
Enchantment. Farewell.
Yeah. We don't have a closing date for Enchantment just yet, but that also makes all the sense.
The closing date is, hang on,
March
not
31st.
soon enough. It's not soon enough is when that closing date is.
As if you heard before, Danny does not like Enchantment.
I have definitely calmed down on my rage, but
especially since the New Beginning started. because it definitely makes it better. It's not great, but it makes it better.
Yeah, it's like a Band-Aid over the bullet hole.
Sure.
Still
bleeding a little
still
bit.
bleeding. You're still bleeding out, but you're doing your best. It's like the sparkly Band-Aid they put on it.
Right. Exactly.
But yes, I would definitely say that like that would be smart of them, because the end of the 50th anniversary celebration, people are going to be like, "Oh, okay, it's done."
Yeah.
Give us something else to be excited about immediately after. I mean,
sure.
I think that'd be awesome.
Yes, I am very, very excited about this. And I've been in Magic Kingdom quite a bit in the last couple of weeks. And every time I've been there, the Tron coaster cars are constantly running, which is a great sign because they have to do a certain amount of testing before there's even a human allowed on board.
Right.
But they have these like crash test dummy type things that are filled with water to weigh them down. And they are the ones that are riding Tron right now, but the coaster cars are running like constantly throughout the day. So if you're going to Magic Kingdom anytime in the next week or two, go over to Tron. You check it out. You can see the trains running on the tracks, and it's so exciting. We're so close after so many years. We're almost there. Very, very, very excited about this ride opening.
I also think it's wild that we moved here 3 years and almost 3 months ago.
I know.
And we haven't ridden the train at Magic Kingdom or gotten to ride Tron, and both of those things have been happening the entire time.
Yeah, and speaking of that, the train, the Magic Kingdom Railroad is running again, not for guests, but it's doing testing and cast members are training, and we should be getting that railroad very, very soon. So stay tuned for that.
Have you do you like riding the train?
I haven't ridden it in so long. I truthfully don't remember how much I like it or not, but I will definitely love getting back on it, at least the first few times, just to do it.
So I love riding the train. It is one of the best things to do, especially back in the day when we used to do open to closes. Like your feet hurt. I used to take naps on the train because it would be hot, and then the breeze just it's awesome. So there's so much to look forward to with those. And they add so much.
And being able to not have to walk from the front of the park to Frontierland,
right,
and Fantasyland and Tomorrowland and all that. Very, very excited about the train coming back and the opportunity to just take a nice, peaceful ride around the park.
And it's kind of like classic Disney that's
Walt
missing.
loved his trains.
And it's been gone for so long, I've almost forgotten that I missed it. So I'm looking forward to being able to ride the train again, just to sit down and take a ride around Magic Kingdom. There's nothing like that.
It's interesting because we've been here for over 3 years now.
3 years and 3 months almost.
Yeah, and so like Danny was saying, we haven't ridden the train the entire time we've been here, but every time we go to Magic Kingdom, we walk under the train station.
I know.
And it's like, you almost forget that was a train station. It's not just like the front of the park.
I feel like I was forgetting that Tron was being built and that the train station was something that we were going to be able to use here in the future.
Right.
Like, it's just been so long.
Like for the last 3.5 years, that front of the park has just been like the area for those flowers and that topiary.
Right.
And like a cool photo as you're walking in.
Right.
But you almost forget that there was a train running through there all the time.
Yeah. And also, when you're at Magic Kingdom, usually you hear the train sounds.
Yeah.
Like, well, I mean, there's like the sound of it moving, the whistle, all of those things are part of the Magic Kingdom ambiance.
Yeah.
And so I think it'll be really fun to like hear those things again.
For
and
sure.
Strange, but fun.
Yeah. So Tron opening in spring 2023. Don't have a date yet. We're hoping by April 1st. Splash Mountain closing January 22nd. And the railroad opening in the very near future.
Yes. Now, speaking of other things that have taken a very long time, Avatar.
Sure, yeah.
Remember when that first movie came out?
Yeah, 13 years ago.
75 years ago. You know,
it's been 84 years.
That's what I was going to say. The lady from the Titanic,
yeah,
who's telling the story. That's what it feels like, because I had never seen Avatar. I finally saw it. It was good. And we saw it because I just had never seen the movie before. Now, how long has it been since the first one came out?
2009, 13 years.
Oh, wow, 13 years. Okay. Well, the next one is coming out soon. Is
I
it
believe
this
it's
week?
this week.
Okay, this week.
Yeah, Avatar: The Way of Water.
So we do have tickets booked for the 75-hour movie that we're going
Yeah.
to sit down.
A week
Actually,
from
it's
today.
I think it's 3 hours and 15 minutes.
That's with credits, so about 3 hours.
Okay. Well, we do have our tickets booked.
Yes.
I it's going to be a
It's gonna be a doozy.
It's gonna be a doozy.
I'm excited to see the new animation though, because 2009 when that first one came out was like groundbreaking animation, like crazy IMAX 3D, like stuff that you'd never seen before. And I'm really excited to see what 13 years worth of technology can do to a movie that was already so groundbreaking.
But how long have they been working on it? Because I'm
A
assuming
long
like
time.
13 years, so it's not.
Honestly, probably. Probably.
I'm just so curious, like what it will look like, because how long in those 13 years were they working on it?
Yeah, well,
That's-
James Cameron notoriously takes forever to make his movies, but it's all TLC. It's 10 or 11 care, and
But there's nothing else in the world that takes 13 years to have the second movie. That's
yeah,
wild.
I mean, unless you're rebooting something.
I mean, yeah, but that's usually once you've closed the chapter and you're like, well,
Sure.
we could do another one.
Sure, especially with Pandora opening in 2017,
Yeah.
5 years ago at this point.
Yes.
I think with them opening that land, they had intended on the other Avatar movies, and I say movies because apparently there's like 4 or 5 of them coming.
How old are we going to be when all of them come out? Every 13
84
years?
years.
Like literally.
I think they intended, or Disney when they ended up acquiring the rights for Avatar, that the movie was going to come out a lot sooner than 2022. And I think COVID had something to do with it.
I don't believe that
but
at all.
I do think it was intended to come out a year or two ago, but
I just
obviously
think
things stood in the way. But I'm excited for it. Are you excited for it? Are you excited to see it?
me.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not
Sure.
I'm not over the moon excited like
I
we're
already saw the second Avatar.
like we are for Violent Night that we're going to see tonight.
We watched Black Panther, and
Yeah.
that wasn't that Avatar
Sure.
with all the blue
Basically.
people.
Yeah, right.
I was like, when I was watching it, I was like, wait, did
Yeah.
James Cameron do this one too?
Sure.
But
Well-
I mean, I am excited to see it. I don't know if I'm excited to sit through that long of a movie, because when we watched Black Panther, I turned to you, I was like, my butt is falling asleep.
Yeah. Well, the reason why we bring up Avatar: The Way of Water is
Yes.
because there is a brand new projection show starting yesterday, December 12th, at Animal Kingdom on the Tree of Life. Animal Kingdom isn't open too late after dark, so there's not super amount of opportunities to see said projection show.
Right.
But the projection show, Avatar: Way of Water, is now running on the Tree of Life.
As of yesterday?
As of yesterday, December 12th.
Okay.
It's a really cool thing that they do on the Tree of Life. They had a little holiday one that was really cute. Normally, it's like a Disney Lion King, very centric. It's called the Tree of Life Awakening, where I don't know exactly what the time schedule is. Every 20 to 30 minutes is like a 5-minute show.
Yeah. It has
and
some cute animals.
Yeah, it's really cool, the technology they can do with all the lighting in the tree branches and the projections on the big trunk. But there's a brand new projection show, like we said, featuring Avatar: The Way of Water, starting yesterday, December 12th at Animal Kingdom.
Yeah, so all of that is happening. Actually, honestly, I am excited to kind of see it.
Yeah.
I'm just curious, because after 13 years, like the hype better be like real. You know what
Yeah.
I mean? That's a long wait for anything. But I'm also excited to see the Tree of Life come alive with
Same.
the Na'vi. Like, I think that I'm curious how big they make them on the tree.
Yeah,
They're going to be like
massive.
massive. So that'll be really pretty to see. And do we know if that's going to be for the time being, or
There's no.
we don't have an end date?
to it,
Okay.
so I would imagine maybe through the theater run of Avatar, maybe 2 or 3 months,
Okay.
something like that,
Yeah.
before Avatar ends up on like HBO Max or whatever it ends up on, or Disney Plus, I guess.
Yeah,
right?
Disney Plus.
Duh.
Yeah.
Now that Disney owns Fox.
Yeah, I wonder if they'll have this on here like for the time being, since, we do have Pandora in the park.
Right.
But I guess we'll see. We'll let you know as soon as we know.
Yeah. Well, there's a couple other things we wanted to touch on for Walt Disney World before we move on to our Universal and Disneyland news that we have for you.
Yes.
There was an announcement the other day that Walt Disney World has come up with new park-specific pricing for one-day, one-park tickets, and prices will vary based on park and date. So now the one-day, one-park tickets for all four parks is as follows: Animal Kingdom starting at $109 and going up to $159. Now the base price for one-day, one-park tickets for a while has been $109. So Animal Kingdom is keeping that minimum price. It's staying exactly where it was. So Animal Kingdom, one park, one day ticket, $109 to $159 depending on date.
So this has no increase, correct?
Correct. Okay. Hollywood Studios is going to $124 to $179 depending on day, one park ticket. Epcot, $114 to $179 depending on day, and Magic Kingdom $124 to $189. Now, it's important to note that the $189 is around Christmas time.
I think it's on Christmas Day.
Very few dates are actually $189. It's basically just holidays.
Right. I thought that was just on Christmas Day, if I remember correctly.
You might be right. I know it is for sure Christmas Day, but I think it might be other holidays like 4th of July and that kind of thing too.
Which I do want to note that Christmas Day isn't it the busiest day at Magic Kingdom, or it used to be?
It used to be. The park reservation system has something to do with that the fact that it's not shoulder to shoulder people anymore. Christmas Day used to be so insane that like the people mover would be like a 2-hour wait, which is unbelievable.
Why do y'all want to stand in line on Christmas?
Right.
Right.
I get wanting to be in the Magic Kingdom on Christmas, but I wouldn't want to wait for anything. I just go and like see it and then go home.
There's no part of me that would ever want to like just stand in lines the entire Christmas Day, but also that's just me.
Yeah, and I would never pay to go to Magic Kingdom on that day.
Personally.
I would go like as a pass holder just because I could go, but I would never pay the $189 to go to Magic Kingdom. It's a ridiculous experience.
Yeah, we've been on some quite busy days where when you live here, you're like, I can come on days where all these people are not here.
Yeah.
And so, but yes, so that day specifically, I believe is on Christmas, but you would have to check if that's something that you want. If you want to stand in line for 2 hours for the people mover, go ahead and check it out.
Right. And there's a quote from Disney after these prices were released. And this is actually a really interesting note because this was not the case before. And the reason why we were emphasizing that it's one day, one park tickets. It says, we continue to focus on providing guests with the best, most memorable Disney experience. And we're doing that by growing our theme parks with incredible new attractions and offerings. We're also making planning easier with new one-day tickets that automatically include a guest's theme park reservation and continue to provide a wide range of options to visit throughout the year, including our lowest price ticket of $109, which has not changed in more than 4 years, like we said. The biggest part of that quote is the fact that there is a park reservation that you automatically get by purchasing said one-day, one-park ticket for whatever park you're buying.
Right.
Because there were so many issues when the park reservation system started that people were buying tickets and not making reservations, A, because they just probably didn't know, and B, that there weren't any available, and it seemed kind of very disingenuous on Disney's part to sell tickets without an ability to make a reservation.
I completely disagree.
Oh, I don't.
I think that people do zero research for what they're doing. They spend their money and expect the red carpet to roll out for them.
That's not necessarily true.
And I personally think that it's a lack of people taking any accountability and planning their vacation.
I strongly disagree with that when it comes to the reservation stuff, because it was so out of nowhere and so new for a lot of people that have been coming to Disney for a long time. You buy a ticket, you go to Disney.
I'm sorry, did they miss the 10 things that said make a reservation, make a reservation, make a reservation, make a reservation, make a reservation?
But to the average person, does buy a ticket or make a reservation sound any different?
But I think if you're buying a ticket and you're like, here's my money, I'm not gonna read anything.
But
that's what people were doing.
But with the way that Disney does tickets now, you've got to select specific dates. And
Good.
If you were purchasing, throw a date out there, December 15th. I'm buying a ticket for December 15th, and I want to go to Magic Kingdom. I buy the ticket for December 15th. If I didn't know any better, I would have thought I was good, and I would just show up at Magic Kingdom and go bing bing and and in we go. But the fact that you could buy a 1-day, 1-park ticket and not get in because you didn't do that second step that was new seemed kind of crappy.
I just think that people were just like, I'm going to, here, take my money, and I'm not going to read anything else that's on the screen because, like, I don't want to, or I'm not going to pay attention. I'm so lazy, I'm not going to read a single thing that's on this page other than purchase.
Yeah, but you shouldn't be selling tickets to a park that doesn't have any reservations available. That's my point.
Well, I agree with you to that point, but like
sorry, it's sold out.
Right. This is something that like is good because it eliminates the need for people to read, which they weren't doing anyway. So
sure, but it could have gone both ways. People definitely should have researched and done more, but they also shouldn't have been selling tickets for Magic Kingdom on December 15th if there were no reservations available.
Right. I don't know. I guess I just feel like anytime I've done anything vacation-y, I read where I'm supposed to be, what time, what do I need to bring? Do I need confirmation? Like, if I'm spending my money, I'm at least paying 25% attention.
Sure.
Like, and I try to be thorough because it's on my, it's my, like, responsibility to be prepared for something like that. Like when I went scuba diving at the seas, I literally like printed out the instructions and had everything I needed and had my dive license and had all the things that I needed and showed up at the right time, at the right place. I had it all out. When I got there, I went to guest services and made sure that I was at the right place. Like,
sure.
I don't understand how there are no steps taken to make a reservation.
Because they shouldn't have had to. Disney made an extra step that was very unnecessary for those people. And because of that, a lot of people ended up not having a good time. And it was a bad customer experience because when you're buying a ticket for said day, if I'm spending the money, like you said, if I'm spending the money and I'm buying a ticket for December 15th at Magic Kingdom, I'm expecting to be able to go to Magic Kingdom on December 15th without doing anything else once I purchase that ticket, correct?
Sure.
And it all along, this change that was made should have been a part of the deal for 1-day, 1-park tickets. You should have automatically gotten a reservation assigned to your My Disney Experience account by buying a ticket.
Well, just takes away the flexibility.
That
now.
extra step was stupid.
I just think that there were so many hey, you have to make a reservation, emails sent out, everything. Like, I don't know how people missed it. Like, I feel like it was pounded into my head so well. I felt like I needed a reservation for everything in life. Like,
sure. I mean, for what we do, it was a different story because we had to report it to the people as well. You know, we knew about the reservation system and all that, but for the average person that's going on vacation at Disney isn't as nuts about Disney as we are.
Right, but it was like that for SeaWorld, for Universal.
Sure.
All of those things are directly in front of your face. But the thing is, I truly believe that most people don't pay any attention when they're making plans. They pay their money and expect the red carpet to roll out for them.
I don't even think most people expected that. If you buy a ticket for a certain day at a certain park, you should get into said park on certain day, no matter what.
I don't know. I think
that second step was dumb.
Having
to do it manually was dumb.
I mean, I guess so. I just think that there's a lack of awareness.
Sure.
Like, you took all the steps to pack your bags, get on a plane.
No, I get that.
Take a car there.
I mean, there's people I meet all the time that don't even have the Disney app, so it's like you.
But you know what I mean? Like, you took all these steps and like you didn't open an email,
right?
Like, or you didn't like.
I get that.
It's beyond me.
Much like the new beginning of Enchantment, that
Band-Aid over the bullet hole.
Making the reservation automatically when you buy the ticket should have been there all along.
Yeah.
All along.
Now, question.
Yeah.
If you pick a certain day, can you change it? Do we know this?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
I'm not sure. You'd have to call Disney.
I think some of these things are so intricate because there's so many people.
There's so many moving parts.
There's so many moving parts. We don't know everything.
Yeah.
We do not.
We know a lot, but definitely not everything.
No, but I agree. I think anytime the 50 people who were like, do I need a park reservation? And it was like every day for a while on the Facebook groups. It was like, yes, you do.
Yeah.
it like hit you in the face the second you open the website. I just completely like disagree that.
Yeah, we can agree to disagree.
I don't know.
It's all good. Opposites attract, right?
Yeah, but I feel like I also have worked in theme parks, and you see common sense go right out the mid. Yeah, that's true.
So have I. Like I said, I meet people all the time that don't even have the Disney app, and I'm like, uh-oh, what are you doing?
How? I don't know.
Yeah.
But that's just me. But just to go back to like the original thing, even though we disagree on the responsibility,
I still love her.
I still love you too,
Yay!
even though you're wrong.
In your opinion.
Come on.
Send us a comment. Send us a note on any of our social medias. Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Danny?
I'm sorry.
Loser buys dinner.
Like the most giant, obvious, like, please make a reservation from every angle, and people still don't make reservations. Get out of town.
But wouldn't the average person think that a park ticket is a reservation for a park?
No. Did you even go on the website? It literally says like you need a ticket reservation or you need a reservation.
That second step after buying the ticket was stupid.
It doesn't matter. It's what's required.
I know.
Like it literally hit you in the face at every angle on their website.
But it's so disingenuous to sell tickets for things that they can't do. That's dumb.
But it gave flexibility. You pick your day. You don't want to pick your day, then you don't get in.
But why are you selling sold out days? That's my point.
I don't know. That's not my job. But I'm tired of hearing people be like, oh, no, I had to make a reservation. I had no idea. How did you not know?
Yeah.
How?
Well, let's move on from the one-day, one-park tickets, because this is such a hot-button topic.
Fine.
And speaking of more reservations, because Disney likes the word reservation so much, it's almost more used than magical and adventure at this point. Is the word reservation?
Oh my goodness.
Between dining and lightning lanes and park reservations.
But I'd rather make a reservation than stand in line.
Sure. No, I get that. But Genie Plus has announced that they are doing a dynamic pricing like airlines. Depending on demand and day, it's going to cost anywhere between $15 and $29 per person as we sit today. As low as $15, as high as $29, which is double the cost, which for a family of 4 or 5 can get pretty expensive if you're going to do...
How much was it the other day?
It was $17.
Yeah, that wasn't bad.
So that wasn't too bad. But the most important thing is that they're actually making modifications to the Lightning Lane selection. So Genie Plus will soon add the ability to modify Genie Plus Lightning Lane reservations without needing to cancel and rebook. That is huge because before, when you booked a Lightning Lane through Genie Plus, you would have that hour window locked in, and if you needed to change it, you would have to cancel it first and hope that the one that you were trying to get didn't disappear. This change will happen in the next week or so at both Walt Disney World and Disneyland.
Nice.
Currently, Genie Plus Lightning Lane bookings must be canceled and rebooked if you want to change your time, like I said. In the time it takes you to cancel and search for the new time, it's often, if not always, gone.
Right.
The change will allow you to find a better time without losing your current time. So, for example, say we wanted to ride Slinky Dog Dash at Hollywood Studios.
Right.
Say when we're making that Lightning Lane reservation, you have to do it early for Slinky Dog Dash. So this is a perfect example. At 7 o'clock in the morning, we've already purchased Genie Plus, and we're trying to figure out a time we want to ride Slinky Dog that day. And say 11:30 a.m. is available. We go ahead and book that. A little bit later on, we want to say, hey, we're hungry. We're going to go eat lunch. And then maybe we'll try to do Slinky Dog later in the day.
Right.
So at lunch, we go to 11:30, and so we go into the app, and we want to see if there's a Lightning Lane available for like 2:30 or 3:30 for Slinky Dog. Instead of having to cancel said 11:30 Slinky Dog, now you can still hold on to your 11:30, see if there's another one available later, and if there's not, hold on to it and change your plans.
Right.
Have lunch after you ride Slinky Dog, but you can still get to ride Slinky Dog because you can hold on to it and not lose it to somebody who is also simultaneously looking for a Slinky Dog ride.
It is worth being noted that this is the same way that Disney dining works.
Correct.
So you can modify, but not change. You won't lose your original reservation until you change to the new one.
Right.
So in theory, if you were like modifying and it's going to hold on to that old one, and then the new one will replace it. Where before, if you deleted the old one, like you said, it
was gone.
It could be gone. I also do want to mention, speaking of dining, I don't believe we've discussed
Oh,
this.
yes, great call.
Dining reservations can now be modified or canceled.
Correct.
Up to 2 hours.
Well, modified, you can do it
20
almost
minutes.
up to the time.
Yeah, I think it's 20 minutes is the cutoff.
Right.
But they can be modified or canceled, but now cancellation can happen up to 2 hours before your dining, where it used to be that day.
It used to have to be before midnight the day of your reservation.
Right. So basically, like, let's just say you had a dining reservation and you kind of just forgot to cancel it. If you weren't going to make it, then you're going to get charged $10 a person. Now, if you were to remember right before now, you can let that dining reservation go and somebody else can potentially grab it.
Right.
Which we have learned like firsthand that the day of is a great time to get dining reservations.
Or for like really in demand dining reservations. Like we recently did Storybook Dining at Artist Point at Wilderness Lodge, which is probably one, if not the most sought after reservations on property.
It's just very limited availability because of the hours. It only goes from, 4 to 9?
4 to 9,
yeah.
But because that is so hard to find, it's really difficult to modify. So a lot of people still end up canceling that the day before.
Right.
So the day before, if you're looking for a dining reservation, the level of Artist Point or like Cinderella's Royal Table or something like that, the day before is a great time to try to find that.
Right. And even the day of, being flexible on a Disney trip is super helpful.
It's
important. Especially if there's something that you want to do. Because I've seen people say, like, I want to do this, but I want to have the reservation now.
Yeah.
Just do it the day of. Like, there's a good chance you can make that happen.
And if you can't find a reservation 60 days out like they make it available for, don't fret. Because you will more likely than not find what you're looking for. You just may have to wait a little bit.
Yeah. One thing I just want to mention before we move on to Universal is I love Disney fans. We are all a very, very passionate bunch about what we love and getting to participate in this community. I just get frustrated when people are upset about something and they won't stop talking about it. Yeah. Like, and yes, I know I talked about enchantment a lot.
Yeah. But
just like the reservation thing, like, can't we all just get along?
Sure.
And we love you guys. We love Disney fans. We all have so much in common. But you guys all know how social media is. And sometimes people, it's always the keyboard warriors who scream the loudest.
Exactly.
So, but I think those are great changes because being able to modify a dining reservation 2 hours ahead of time.
It's great.
It used to be that you had to modify, and if it was something rare, you were just,
SOL.
Yeah. or you're just paying, the fee.
The fee. Yep.
It happens, but I think we're ready to pop on over to another park.
Yeah, so that wraps up our recent news edition for Walt Disney World.
Quite a bit.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on in the last amount of time before or since we've did a podcast.
And usually the holidays are pretty slow with news just because the parks themselves are so busy.
Yeah. I mean, things are still slowly but surely getting back to normal. And we're still not there yet, but we're very, very close.
Yes.
So yeah, like Danny said, let's hop over to Universal Orlando, where I'm really excited about this. They just opened last Friday the Great Movie Escape, which is an escape experience, not an escape room, because I guess there's like 7 or 8 rooms in each one. There's an escape experience, and there's 2 different experiences, and they are based on the intellectual properties of Jurassic World and Back to the Future.
Jurassic World is like got so much happening right now.
I know. Love it. Give me all of the Jurassic World.
I did. I gave it to you for our anniversary.
You sure did, Rexy.
Well, we're going to be going to Jurassic World live.
Yes.
So
excited.
Yes, but this is another thing that we can do that's right in our backyard. Now, the prices start at $50 per person or $300 for a private room of 8 people. So weekends and holidays are more expensive. annual passes can get 15% off.
And that's at the door. That's not in advance purchasing on universalorlando.com. That AP discount has to be at the door.
Now, one thing that I was shocked at is I didn't realize that escape rooms cost that much.
Yeah.
I thought they were like $20.
But I would imagine that Universal Orlando has the biggest budget of just about any escape room experience, where and these grand IPs that they can use,
right?
That it's going to be worth the extra $15 to $20 for admission.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what they do.
Me too. I'm avoiding all spoilers. I don't want to see any videos. I know there's videos and stuff out there.
Oh, there are?
Oh yeah.
Oh,
there was a media preview, and I just didn't want to see any of it. So.
Oh, I didn't see anything.
Yeah.
I also kind of stick my head in the sand when it comes to that stuff, because
yeah,
I want to do it.
Why would you want to watch a video of an escape room?
I don't want the answers.
And then go. Yeah, right. You're supposed to go into it blind and have fun.
Yeah.
All right. So, yes, like Danny said, starting at $50 per person and $300 for a private room of 8 people. So I would imagine, just by that sentence alone, that you would go in, like, say, you and I, we would get matched up with up to 8 people for an experience. I don't think it would just be you and I going if we were to sign up.
Right.
So I think, like, whoever, this group of 8 and then this group of 8, no matter who booked together, but you can also book your own private experience if you're guaranteeing them the $300 and get 8 people to
or
go.
up to 8.
Up to 8 people.
I wonder if you wanted to do it on your own, if it would cost $300.
Probably.
Woo!
That's why you bring more people.
Yikes.
Yeah, I can think of like 40 people I would bring. So
40 people?
Yeah. All of you out there in Park Hopper Land. All right. So, yes, $300, which is actually much cheaper than $50 per person. It comes out to about $38 a person.
See, that seems more like what I thought it was going to be.
Yeah. So, and I don't believe that the pass holder discount is eligible for the private room.
What?
Yeah.
But that makes sense.
Because you're already getting
a discount. But I'm curious, what are Christmas dinosaurs? What's that cost? Like, if you go on Christmas, how much does something like that cost?
I was looking briefly at the Universal website, and I think it goes up to $69.
Wow.
On weekends and holidays. Holidays are a little bit more expensive.
So dinosaurs on Christmas are more expensive.
Yeah, it's a very nice price.
That's what you learned.
Exactly. So very, very excited to check that out. At some point, we're going to try to gather, a group of 8 folks and try to get that $300 deal and, have some fun with some friends.
Hopefully at some point, maybe when the holidays are over.
Yeah, exactly.
And we'll report back to you how we enjoy it.
Yeah.
As we always do.
For sure. I don't know if we'll make a video or not, but we'll see.
I don't think so.
I don't think I'd want to. I think I'd want to fully immerse myself.
I feel like if anything, we do like a before and after and some bits and pieces. Nothing like spoilers.
And we don't own one, but the only video I think I would ever do in an escape room was a GoPro.
Yeah, we don't have
a
GoPro yet.
All right, so Great Movie Escape is now open at Universal Orlando City Walk. It's not in one of the parks, so you don't need park admission.
Right.
It is in Universal Orlando City Walk. Another announcement from Universal Orlando is they announced the long-awaited announcement of VillainCon Minions Blast, which will be opening this summer. The Blaster game experience will be located at the former spot of Shrek 4D at Universal Studios. The attraction will open within the new Minion Land. So I guess we're calling that street the Minion Land on Illumination Avenue, which is interesting.
Okay.
The new area will also feature the fan favorite Despicable Me Minion Mayhem attraction, which is the Minion ride that already exists. A new Minion Cafe, which is overtaking the former Monsters Cafe. And other surprises inspired by popular characters from Illumination's blockbuster franchises. So that's really interesting. I didn't notice that the first time I read it, that it's going to be the Minion Land on Illumination Avenue. So that first street is apparently going to be Illumination Avenue now, with other IPs outside of just Despicable Me and Minions being featured there. So,
which is I'm trying to think of
Secret Life of Pets, the
Trolls.
Nah, I think that's DreamWorks.
Yeah, it is DreamWorks.
There's another Super Mario. The new Super Mario movie is going to be Illuminations.
Oh, okay.
The 2018 version of The Grinch was Illuminations.
Okay, we started watching that the other night.
I can't remember what other stuff that Illuminations has made, but definitely Secret Life of Pets and Super Mario the movie.
I would love if they brought the Secret Life of Pets ride here.
That ride looks awesome. I would love to go on that at some point when we go out to California.
Yeah.
It'd be a lot of fun. It's a really cool, slow-moving dark ride, kind of an omni mover like Haunted Mansion. You just get on the ride and it just keeps moving. But the technology is really cool. Check it out on YouTube if you want to see it.
So before we moved here, I thought that all rides at Universal were like that.
No.
Like that's what I thought we were. That's what I thought the parks were. But and then I was like, what? It's only in California, but we'll get there eventually.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of California, we are going to park hop right over across the country to Disneyland. And we got a couple of announcements there.
Yeah. February 24th, the day before my birthday, is the return of Magic Happens.
Oh my gosh. Guys.
Magic Happens.
Here's the funny thing. We love this parade. But during the pandemic, that particular video that Disneyland put out of the condensed parade, it was like about 9 minutes and some seconds. I think we watched it like a couple million times. Literally, I would just put it on and dance around in the living room, be like, everything is fine, everything is fine.
Yeah.
When in fact everything was not fine, but it made me feel like everything was okay. And that parade is so incredible. The characters, the floats, the music. Disney understood the assignment when it came to this parade. And we
Yes.
all know how important music can be to a show or a parade.
Uh-huh.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Enchantment. But
I think we all knew
I'm just
what
going
you
to
were
tell him.
referencing.
I will forever believe that music is the secret ingredient that either causes some sort of entertainment show, parade, anything to either thrive or
Fail.
I was like, what's a nice word? Fail. We'll just say
Bomb.
that. Bomb.
Bomb.
But I'm actually very excited to see how they change this. Now, I have a sneaking suspicion that some things are going to be changed. One, because one day we were sitting at home and I was like, I'm going to put on Magic Happens. And they pulled it off their YouTube page and
Sure
I was so mad. I was like, what does that mean? It's never coming back. In hindsight, and with the different changes that have been happening around the park, I think that they are going to be changing the soundtrack. I think they're going to be removing the zippity doo-dah from
Yeah.
the soundtrack. I also think that when it comes to this parade, it wouldn't surprise me if we saw some new characters added because of their popularity, most specifically in Encanto. I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that. What are your thoughts about that?
Yeah, Zippity Doo-Dah is definitely going away for sure. It's already been taken out of Festival of Fantasy. Everywhere you could possibly think it was there, it's gone. I don't think there's going to be too many updates to that unless they're going to, like you said, feature Encanto. The one thing I was a little disappointed at is that the new Fantasmic didn't feature Encanto. I was really hoping that it would.
I just think that when they were creating it, it wasn't like, I think that had been going on for a long time. I think
Sure.
if they knew how big it was going to be, then it would have been featured. But by the time that happened,
Yeah.
the plans were already in motion.
Because I would have swapped that for the Mulan battle scene yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
Because every time Mirabelle popped up on the water screen projections, the crowd went wild. So
Yeah.
people love her and people love that movie. And I think that in the future, we'll probably see some sort of update adding Encanto to something.
I would just be surprised that they don't take this opportunity because, like, Encanto is so big. It's like the next Frozen.
Honestly, it's not going to be that big, but it's definitely the second biggest thing since Frozen that they've put out.
I mean, have you heard the army of children that sing every single word to "We Don't Talk About Bruno" anytime you watch something?
Yes, but nothing will ever top Let It Go.
I mean,
Ever.
you're not wrong.
Ever.
But after so many years of singing Let It Go, we needed a new We had to let it go.
even what they thought would top Let It Go, Into the Unknown, will never top Let It Go.
No,
Let It Go
of
is the
course
most
it
famous
wouldn't.
Disney song ever made.
I mean, they Show Yourself is way better than Into the Unknown anyway.
Yes.
But I just think I would be surprised if they didn't take this opportunity to add Encanto, because they didn't add it to Fantasmic.
Sure.
Because I just feel like if you're a parent or you have a kid who loves Encanto and you hear that you can see Encanto in the parade at Disneyland, what are you going to do? You're probably going to try to, make your way over there.
I mean, judging by what we've seen from Magic Happens already, you've seen beautiful floats from Coco, like super interactive floats too, technologically advanced floats. You got Coco, Moana, Frozen 2. What am I missing?
Coco, Moana, Frozen 2. I'm trying
There's
to think.
obviously like the Princess one and stuff at the end.
Why am I I'm Moana, Coco, Frozen 2. There's something we're missing.
It doesn't matter, but you get the idea of those three and how intricate and beautiful those floats were.
Right.
Just picture like a really cool float with like a little casita at the top of it, and then like almost like a mountain kind of, where on the way down from the mountain there's different platforms, and you put like Abuela, and you put the other, God, I can't remember the characters, Luisa and Tia Peppa, and like all the folks from there, and then have Mirabelle like in front of the float, like doing her dance.
Well, the thing about
with
this,
the kids.
Yeah. Well, the thing about Magic Happens is a big part of it is not only is the music top tier, the colors are beautiful,
right.
and they use these floats during the day and at night. And if you've ever seen Encanto, and if you haven't, you should definitely watch it.
How many colors?
It's bright and colorful and alive, and it would just fit so beautifully into that parade. So I would be surprised, because it only lasted for 2 weeks before the park shut down. They can really just have a brand new, birth for it, or like they can present it in any way that they want, because it really didn't get a good kickoff because of everything that was happening.
The entire Encanto film is based around magic, and magic happens.
Yeah. I just feel like if they not putting something in there, even if it's something smaller, I think they should do a whole float.
Yeah.
A whole section. But that's just me. I don't make those decisions, unfortunately.
They're
but
above our pay grade.
Yes, just a little. But I am thrilled that that's coming back, and that we will get to see it in person.
We will be going out to Disneyland because it's back at some point.
Because I know that there are many recordings where I said, we'll go when Magic Happens comes back.
Yeah, and here it comes, the day before my birthday. Can we go to Disneyland on my birthday?
We'll talk about it.
All right. She didn't say no.
I didn't say no.
And then just one more little piece of news for Disneyland. Nothing can stop them now, as January 27th will be the opening day for Disneyland's version of Mickey and Minnie's Runaway Railway.
And I don't know if I'm imagining this. It does have a new scene in it, correct?
It does have a new scene. We don't know what said scene is, but they are also reimagining the area around it in Toontown, where the El Capitan Theater, rather than the Chinese theater here at Hollywood Studios, will be the home of said ride. So very, very excited that when we get to go out to Disneyland at some point on my birthday, wink, wink. She's shaking her head no.
No, I'm shaking my head at you being like, oh, you rascal.
Disneyland on birthday.
You rascal fiance,
What a birthday present that would be.
Oh, my goodness, this guy.
Go see World of Color and Magic Happens. Yes, please.
Yes. But Runaway Railway is finally opening. I feel like a lot of people thought it was going to come a little bit closer to when Disney World got it. But again, the pandemic did slow that down quite a bit. So I am excited to see how it's different. And I think it's kind of cool that they're changing it up a little bit.
I think it's great. You shouldn't have carbon copy rides in different parks. You just really shouldn't.
Especially in the same country.
Right.
Like,
that's a good point too.
Because some people can't fly to international parks to that's a big ask.
It is a big ask.
But if they're in the same country, it's definitely more doable. So having carbon copies is, people want to see the different things, even if it's just little changes to rides that they love. And I think that they're doing this with Runaway Railway, And I think it's a great call. I really do.
And sadly, for that very reason, we'll never get Avengers Campus.
Don't talk to me about that. I don't want to talk about it.
I want to go to Disneyland and go see all that stuff.
I want more Marvel here.
Happy birthday to me.
That we're not getting Marvel here.
No, I'm saying go to Disneyland on my birthday, like I said.
Ay, ay, ay. All right, our friends out in Park Hopperland, we are going to bring this episode to a close. We are so excited that we got to join you and update you on everything that's going on. We did want to mention that we are going to have one more episode to close out 2022.
Correct.
It has been extremely busy with the holiday seasons. We know that you guys have been extremely busy as well. And the holidays aren't even done yet.
No, we've got more visitors coming for in the next couple of days for about a week. So we've got a very, very busy time ahead of us. So we're gonna commit to doing one more podcast before the end of 2022.
Right.
And it'll be sort of like a year-end type of deal.
Right. And so we are excited going into 2023. We've met a lot of goals that we were hoping to meet before 2022 ended. And we have even bigger goals for 2023. We're excited to bring you guys along on the journey. And again, as we open the new year, we are planning on getting back to our regularly scheduled programming in terms of our show. And so I'm just excited for everything. I'm so happy that things are getting back to normal and that you got down on one knee and put a ring on it.
I did.
That's the best thing to come out of 2022.
Yeah. Aww.
Well, yeah.
Sweet. She's so sweet to me.
Well, I'm gonna go ahead and end this right now because I am just excited to get back to what we were doing. Go see Violent Night, which we're about to see.
Very excited.
And just keep working on the things that we're working on. And I'm excited to also see what comes up in 2023 because honestly, usually the holidays aren't very busy. And so like in terms of news, so this is a very news heavy episode. And yeah, I would say that we're going to see a lot more happening over the next couple months.
For sure.
All right. Well, make sure that you are keeping an eye on our YouTube page. We have so many videos that we covered for the holidays. If you're feeling like picking up your holiday spirits, we got plenty of Christmas spirit on our YouTube page.
Yeah, and if you haven't subscribed already, go do that because we have already reached our 1,000 subscriber follower count goal that we had before the end of...
Well, that was our first big goal.
Yeah, the first goal. First of many. Thousands more to come. But we were very, very excited that we hit that before 2022 ended like we had hoped for. So very, very thankful for all of you who chose to hit that subscribe button and that notification bell for any time that we release videos on our YouTube page. So much stuff to take in there. So many Christmas videos from all three parks. Go check it out. Just a plethora of stuff is available for you to watch now at youtube.com/a-couple-of-parkhoppers.
And if you are watching on our Patreon page, thank you so much for supporting us. We love you, our patrons. We're so excited to keep bringing you more content. And if you are listening out there in Park Hopperland, we hope that you have a Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, and take care of yourselves.
And until next time,
we will see you around the parks.